Welcome back. Today we're going to discuss dependent clauses that function as noun clauses. If you've been with us before, you'll notice that we talked about adjective clauses that function as dependent clauses, adverb clauses that function as dependent clauses, and the adjective and adverbs were modifiers. They did not affect the entire sentence. If you pull out a noun clause, it will change your sentence. So think about the noun clause as nouns that are in the sentence. If I took the subject out of the sentence, it would be missing something. If I took the predicate nominative out of the sentence, it would be missing something. So your noun clauses will function as a part of the sentence pattern, like your subject, verb, direct object, your subject, linking verb, predicate nominative. Those noun clauses could function as any part of that sentence pattern that's not your verb. Also, there are a list of words that will begin noun clauses. This is not the complete list, this is those that are commonly used. But I want you to kind of familiarize yourself with those, write those down in your notes so you can memorize them. That, what, whatever, how, if, when, which, whichever, who, whenever, where, wherever, whoever, whom, whoever, whether, and why. You'll notice some of these same words are also in with your adverb, beginning of your adverb clauses, which are subordinate conjunctions. So some of these look like they could be subordinate conjunctions. Some of these look like they could be relative pronouns. So you just have to memorize these, because you'll notice this can also be a relative pronoun. And you'll notice that if can also be a subordinate conjunction. So you just have to memorize them. There's no perfect magic wand that we can wave to help you memorize them. You have to practice them yourself. As we go to the board, I'm going to show you some words, some sentences that have these words in them where the noun begins the noun clause. The entire clause is going to function as a part of the sentence. I got this little blue marker this time instead of the black marker so that I can really show you where the noun clause begins and why we don't want to just start jerking noun clauses out of the sentences. In this first one, I put OP here because this noun clause is going to function as the object of the preposition. Remember when we said when we start analyzing sentences, we look for those words that could be relative pronouns, subordinate conjunctions, or coordinate conjunctions, and then look for our prepositional phrases. This prepositional phrase begins here, but the part that functions as your object of the preposition is this entire thing that actually is a noun clause. How do I know that's a noun clause instead of just part of my prepositional phrase? It's because I have a verb tries, a subject she. In this sentence, or this part of this clause, whatever actually functions as the direct object. Remember I told you if you're not really sure about your sentence patterns, you're not sure about your direct objects and your object of preposition, this will totally confuse you. So make sure you go back, make sure you know what a prepositional phrase is, that you know what predicate nominatives are before you attempt to do noun clauses. This entire clause is really functioning as the object of the preposition. So if I were to diagram this, which I'm not because I don't want to scare you away till the next time, whatever she tries is my object of the preposition, and at is my preposition. Because this is in a prepositional phrase, you could actually remove that and not miss it so much. But you couldn't just take out whatever she tries. You'd be left with at. And then your sentence would be Jesse will succeed at. So you see how you can't pull that out like you could the adjective and adverb clauses, because now this noun clause, whatever she tries, is a part of this phrase. So you can have a clause within a phrase. I know it looks kind of weird, but whatever she tries is the object at whom or what. It answers whom or what, and whatever she tries is your object of the preposition. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of our sentence. This should be my independent clause because this over here is my dependent clause, functioning as a noun clause. And remember, the noun clauses can be different things in the sentence. Jesse will succeed is all we're left with, so we'll just have to say these are my verbs, will succeed, and who or what will succeed? Jesse. Notice that's your object of the preposition. Absorb that, accept that, let it go. There you are. The next sentence has your subject as the noun clause. How do I know that? It's because there's one of those words, and this is not a question. You usually expect to see what at the beginning of a question. But this part, what I want, this whole thing is functioning as the subject of the sentence. You can't just go in there and just start circling stuff and saying, yeah, looks like this, looks like that. No, you check to make sure it's a clause because it has a verb, it has a subject. And this is actually functioning as your direct object of your clause. Not going to try to diagram that for you right now. I could do it, but I'm going to save it for the next time. So let's just look at what this is doing. Is my verb. Notice that we've got a prepositional phrase. I did get that out of order, but you're okay. You can deal with that, right? Of ice cream is my prepositional phrase. Is my verb. And then scoop. All of what I want is a scoop. Subject, linking verb, predicate, nominative. I want scoop. Got that? What I want is my subject. Is my verb. Scoop is renaming what it is that I want. All right. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. All right. It's not that bad. These two are adjectives. That's your scoop. You okay? All right. This is my preposition. And ice cream. It's going to be one of those compound nouns. So that's your object of preposition. So what I want in this sentence is my entire subject. This noun clause is functioning as the subject. Scoop is my predicate nominative because it's telling what I want. It's renaming what I want. Is a linking verb. These two words are describing scoop. And this is telling you what kind of scoop. So this is an adjective phrase. So we've got all these phrases and clauses and all this going on, and you're mastering it by now. And you can see that this is the object of preposition, and this is your subject. See if you can find the direct object in this one. And remember, it can start with all those words that you wrote down. And you'll probably be thinking, well, there's that. That is a relative pronoun, but in this sentence, it's not a relative pronoun. Okay? Because it's not describing anything. It's actually answering a question, whom or what. So we're going to section it off and look at it separately. You have learned is what it's really saying. So I've got a verb, learned, helping verb, have. Who have learned? You have learned. You have learned whom or what? All of that is the direct object answering the question what it is that I have learned. Oh my, isn't that a bit much? All right, so look at it, take it in. That's all your direct object. You have learned whom or what? That you are my favorite. But we've got to analyze within the noun clause. And this was just one of those words that just got to stand out. That has nothing to do with other than introducing it. Sometimes the beginning word can function as something, and sometimes it's just a connecting word. In this sentence, it's a connecting word. In that sentence, it was a direct object. In that sentence, it was a direct object. But in this sentence, it's just functioning as a connecting word. We've got are as a linking verb, and then favorite is a predicate adjective describing you, and then you have your adjective describing favorite. All right. Getting it? Okay. That's your direct object. You have learned whom or what? You've learned that you're my favorite. You can replace it with something else. You've learned that I've lost my shoes. You have learned that the sky is blue most of the time. But you can replace that with any kind of direct object. You have learned about how I do what I do. But you can replace that, but you can't just take it out and just leave your direct object off because it's part of your basic sentence pattern. It looks like you could drop it, but it's part of the sentence pattern. So like Johnny kicked the dog. We don't kick dogs around here, but just in case Johnny kicked the dog, you could drop dog off and say Johnny kicked it, and it would still have a sentence, but you would be losing part of your sentence pattern, which is the dog. The last one that I'm going to do with you is the predicate nominative. You're kind of getting used to it now. Getting a little used to it. All right, so you can probably see in this sentence where my predicate nominative is. Look at it really well, see if you can find it. Yep, you're right, it starts right here, because this is my linking verb. And the rest of this is all going to be the predicate nominative. Let's look at this part of it and see what we can do with that. What is going to be problem, and you got your one-word adjective. And then that all of us can't go is it's actually renaming the problem. This is what the problem is. Problem is that all of us can't go. All right? Let's take it slowly. Take out your prepositional phrase. Got your verb. Got your helping verb. Got your adverb that can never be part of the verb. It's modifying your verb. And then all is your subject. All can't go. And this is one of your introductory words again. Remember that sometimes your noun introductory words are part of that clause, and sometimes they're just introductory words in this case with this one, but not in the case with that one. If you want to get, ahead of me and go ahead and start diagramming, you could diagram these. And this part would be your subject. It would be up on a little elevated pedestal. We'll look at that the next time. And this will be up on a little pedestal up under where at is. And then these two would be up on the pedestal with your slanted line here and your straight line for your direct object there. All right? It wasn't so bad, was it? We'll look into some more of them. We'll diagram some the next time. And until then, happy analyzing and diagramming.